10 Gulfstream. This is Next Weather.
All right, let's look at our weather headlines here. A heat wave is with us tonight. Temperatures down in the upper 70s for lows. Very muggy tonight, and excessive heat will continue tomorrow and for the rest of the week with that heat wave rolling on at least into the early part of the weekend. Today's temperatures topping out at 97 degrees at Brookley Field, 96 in Mobile, 95 in Pensacola. Heat index values as high as 116 in our area today. And it looks like that heat wave will intensify as it comes out of Texas and centers up over our area through the middle of the week. This is Thursday here. The upper level pattern shows a big upper ridge sitting over the top of us. So that means a heat wave, and that'll continue into Friday. Things should start to improve as we head into the weekend, but it will be gradual. Here's your forecast. Temperatures warming up into the mid-90s with scattered showers and thunderstorms as we head into the afternoon and evening. Over the next 4 days, it'll be high through Friday and into Saturday. Highs in the upper 90s, lows in the upper 70s to near 80 degrees for our overnight lows. And all the way through the 4th of July, we go with the extended outlook here. Partly cloudy on Sunday, a few showers on Monday, and it looks like a few scattered showers and lower temperatures by the 4th of July. So this searing heat we're experiencing is due to an upper level ridge. We'll have more on what that means in a report from meteorologist Matt Barentine.
Can I play? Sure, but you need to bring your own truck. That's not a problem.
The FOX10 Storm Tracker fleet, taking you live to more places, covering the Gulf Coast like no one else can. Unrivaled experience, unparalleled severe weather coverage.
I think I need a bigger sandbox.
All this heat that we've been having to deal with is due to a heat dome, and meteorologist Matt Barentine explains what that is and how it comes to be.
We're going to be experiencing extreme heat through the rest of this week and on into the weekend with heat index values up into the 1-teens. This is being caused by a heat dome. A heat dome is an area of high pressure in the upper levels of the atmosphere. It's been parked over Texas, but then moving towards us as we go towards the end of the week. It acts like a lid trapping in the heat. Also, there is sinking air in the heat dome that compresses the air. When air is compressed, it heats up. Think of a bicycle pump when you're pumping up a tire. If you touch it afterwards, it is warm. Now, what causes heat domes? Well, it's all to do with the jet stream. If the jet stream is perfectly west to east, that would allow the heat to spread out. But when it takes big dips like this, that causes the heat to pool, creating the heat dome, which is what we're dealing with right through the end of the week and on into the weekend. I'm meteorologist Matt Barentine, Fox 10 News.
All right, let's take a look at the situation with thunderstorms too, and we can see those as we're on the edge of these upper level ridges. And so we talk about damage from thunderstorms, and sometimes it's straight line winds and sometimes we see tornadoes, and meteorologist Michael White has a look at those differences.
I'm meteorologist Michael White for Next Weather, and we are going to be talking about straight line winds, something that is always a big threat inside severe thunderstorms. Whenever we have a severe thunderstorm risk, you usually think about tornadoes, you usually think about hail, but straight line winds can knock down trees and power lines, and they can be just as dangerous in some instances. So we're going to talk a little bit about that and exactly what are the straight line winds. Well, as we go through this, it's also known as a downburst. Okay, the source of damaging winds is well understood. It begins with the downdraft. As the air rises, it's going to begin to cool to the point of condensation where water vapor forms tiny water droplets. And that comprises the cumulus clouds that we see. And as the air continues to rise, further condensation occurs and the cloud grows. Near the center of the updraft, the particles begin to collide and coalescence, forming large droplets. This continues until the rising air can no longer support the ever-increasing size of the water drops, so cold air then begins to descend from the mid and upper levels of the thunderstorm, And as the colder air strikes the Earth's surface, it begins to roll, much like water as a boat moves through it. And as that colder air rolls out, it's compressed, and that causes the winds to increase dramatically, at times sometimes even stronger than tornado winds. And downbursts are defined as strong winds produced by a downdraft. And you can see that image that gives you a diagram of how that outflow works. Whereas a tornado, on the other hand, we'll pull up that image, a tornado is a narrow, violently rotating column of air that extends from the base of a thunderstorm to the ground. And because the wind is invisible, obviously, it's hard to see a tornado unless it forms a condensation funnel. And that funnel is made up of water droplets, dust, and debris. So the most destructive and deadly tornadoes occur from supercell thunderstorms, which are rotating thunderstorms with a well-defined radar circulation called a mesocyclone. So what are the key differences? Well, a lot of it has to do with inbound and outbound wind flow. So if you have inbound wind flow, that's how you know there is a tornado around, because winds blow into that. They blow into the thunderstorm. Debris is often laying at angles whenever there's been tornado damage due to the curving of the inflow winds, whereas all wind flows out from a downburst in a thunderstorm. And debris is often laying in straight lines. That's why we have the term straight line winds. It's parallel to the outward wind flow. So when trees are twisted off, a lot of people get that confused for a tornado. It's a common mistake. The fact that trees were twisted off doesn't necessarily mean that a tornado has gone through. So if you could draw a line straight down a tree, you'd see that the tree isn't exactly alike from one side to the other. Differences in limbs, leaves may cause the tree to have more wind resistance on one side than the other, and the tree begins to twist. So much like a stop sign twists in strong winds, if wind speeds are high enough, the tree will begin to tear apart in a twisting motion, even though the winds are actually blowing straight. So that's sometimes a common misconception. We are going to be talking a lot more about thunderstorms as we continue throughout the summer months, because we see them almost every single day. And we got to remember that when you hear thunder roar, get indoors, because the other big threat in these thunderstorms is lightning. And we see more lightning in the summer than in any other season. Well, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night. For Next Weather, I'm meteorologist Michael White.
And coming up, we'll take another look at that extended forecast and see if there's a break from this heat in the long-range outlook.
New to the FOX10 weather app, your 24-hour radar forecast. Be the first to see how precipitation is going to affect your plants across the Gulf Coast. Detailed hour by hour. The 24-hour radar forecast on the FOX10 weather app. Plus the latest breaking news with the FOX10 News app.
Got him, bro.
Stay alert with FOX10. Prime time is FOX10 time.
The latest on the night's top stories are first on FOX10 News at 9.
Wrap up your day, informed and ready for the morning.
All right, here's a look at our 10-day forecast, and the heat wave will be super strong this week. Highs in the upper 90s to near 100 degrees. We start a new month on Sunday and a new weather pattern. We get into July, and it starts to back off a little with the heat, and it'll get more unsettled as we go through the middle of the week next week. We'll start to see some showers and thunderstorms, and that should help with the temperatures. So you either get the rain or you get the heat, and in this case, it looks like mainly just the heat this week. Try and stay hydrated and take it easy out there. Don't overdo it in all this heat. Thanks for joining us here on Next Weather.